Lesson 9. To Kill a Mockingbird. Remember, it's a sin to kill a mockingbird, Atticus said, believing that mockingbirds were harmless and did nothing but sing their hearts out for people to enjoy. In the town of Maycomb, Alabama, in the 1930s, there lived a little girl, Scout Finch, her older brother, Jem, and their widowed father, Atticus. Their father, a well-respected lawyer in the community, taught them to be empathetic and just.
When Scout was in second grade, Atticus was appointed to defend Tom Robinson, a black man accused of sexually assaulting Mayella Ewell. Mayella Ewell came from Maycomb's poorest white family, and her father was a widowed drunkard who wasted all his money on alcohol instead of food for his hungry children. All the other people in Maycomb despised the Ewells. Even so, when people found out that Atticus was the man assigned to serve as the defense lawyer in the sexual assault case, they were on the Ewells' side. The Finches faced criticism from the community and even their own relatives. People called Atticus a nigger lover, which angered Jem and Scout. Atticus comforted them, telling them a lawyer should stand up for the rights of people, regardless of their skin color, and he encouraged them to hold their heads up and keep their fists down.
On the day of the trial, the courthouse was packed, and Jem and Scout secretly slipped in to watch. The Ewell's story was that Mayella had asked Tom to come over to fix something. While there, Tom beat and sexually assaulted Mayella until Mr. Ewell came home, scaring Tom off. However, Tom's version of the story was that Mayella came on to him and kissed him, and he pushed her away. At just that moment, Mr. Ewell arrived home and flew into a rage. Mr. Ewell yelled at Mayella, and he ran away out of fear.
After hearing both sides' testimonies, the sheriff of Maycomb pointed out that Mayella's bruises were on the right side of her face. Upon hearing this, the audience in the courtroom realized that her injuries must have been caused by somebody left-handed. They also noticed that Tom's left arm had been injured in an accident, which meant he must have been innocent of giving Mayella her bruises. Meanwhile, Atticus asked Mr. Ewell to write his name. To the audience's surprise, he instinctively used his left hand. Therefore, the injuries could only have been done by Mr. Ewell himself, and the Ewells must have been lying to protect Mayella's reputation.
Despite the strong evidence, Tom was found guilty by the all-white jury and sent to prison. Feeling great despair for his future in a white-dominated legal system, Tom tried to escape from prison, but was shot to death. Jem and Scout, who had watched the entire trial, had had high hopes that Tom would be found innocent. They were devastated by the injustice of Tom's heartbreaking fate. Atticus explained that most people make sensible and moral decisions in everyday life. But when race is involved, they tend to be swayed by the person's skin color, turning into someone unrecognizable.
Nevertheless, for Maycomb, a glimmer of hope remained. Atticus noted that the jury had spent a few hours deliberating the verdict. This was an encouraging sign, because usually a jury would require only a few minutes to find a black person guilty. This delay in the verdict meant that at least one member of the jury must have believed in Tom's innocence. Therefore, Although the guilty verdict could not really be considered a victory, the delay definitely represented progress and positive change.